Ah, hell.
Alright, so we're gonna pretend that you did like 5 minutes. So we'll go 55. Event timer 55. My bad for anyone that is still here and hasn't been like duped. My ish keeps crashing. I don't know why. I gotta look into that. Gotta like share a crash report or something.
Is it possible that it's just because of it being you're using the new OBS?
It could be. There could be a lot of things. It's just really annoying now because it's like, that shouldn't be causing that, but it is.
This is driving me fucking goddamn insane. I'm losing it. Like,
Okay,
I really,
then stop.
I'm losing it.
If you can't control yourself, stop.
No, I can. I'm just losing it.
This is one of the last things. We have a few more levels left, so we might give it one more Sunday if he can keep his sanity.
It's already gone. What do you mean?
I'm gonna be uploading so many broken parts of this to the collection because of how many times I've had to restart because of OBS crashing. It could be a multitude of reasons why that's happening though, so. Yeah, you should switch to something. I tell him to do that, but the problem is he gets into this state.
Well, no, you won't help me with these, so I have to do them myself.
You don't have to do it all at once,
Yes,
is my point.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
Me helping you has nothing to do with what Miguel is saying and I'm saying. But yeah, like I said, if he tries to do it all at once.
I mean, I just started this. It's only been 10 minutes. Like.
Yeah, but you're saying you're getting that frustrated that quickly, then you take a break.
No, I said I'm going insane. I never said I was angry.
I don't know what that means with you, so.
It means going insane versus screaming F at the top of my lungs.
But yeah, I feel like we could probably finish this by next Sunday. That's my guess. This is the only flashback tape. And then we have... I just did the inverted for that whatever you call it, castle. So that... And literally the only thing left...
I made a mistake. I saved it.
Literally the only thing left is a few more gems and a few levels, right? So I don't know. I feel like we can kind of do it.
Motherfucker!
That's not making me think you're not angry. So like we could probably do it. I don't know. We'll see. I just don't want to completely give up.
Jesus, motherfucking Coco.
But yeah, he's definitely gonna have to be the one to do these. So as long as he can get past this one, I don't see why we wouldn't be at 100% it. Because the levels, they suck, but I feel like we can get through them. You know? And that level that I just got through, I think that was one of the hardest levels in the game, right?
One OTS.
So like I would say that all you have to do is go through that and not die.
The thing is, the Cortex one is that, but harder.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the one I was doing. Never mind. But didn't we do that one a lot last time?
Yeah, and you know what progress we made on it last time? None.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh. I don't know, bro. We'll find out. We'll see, but I don't want to give up just yet. What nitro crates was he referring to?
The ones that just blew up over there.
Oh.
I don't think I was supposed to do that.
want me to put the video up?
As long as it doesn't fucking break the stream again.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps breaking the stream. I'll just open up regular Chrome at this point. I don't know why the browser sources are crashing OBS. I gotta look into that because that is not supposed to happen. And balls. So. Okay, so what's this one called again? You said it's called,
The Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. I was about to say, what the hell is that? It was an ad.
Yeah, I don't have YouTube Premium.
Alright, I got the video already, bro.
Hey everyone, Sweet Johnny Cage here, back with another guide for craft.
Please let me go pee this time.
Get this one up.
Yeah, go do it.
Nitro appears, completely optional. You don't have to do that. Okay, so once you're ready at the checkpoint, you want to do a sliding double jump to as many of these boxes as possible. Jump and spin, so you just land on this box here. If you jump at the right time, you can get this one up. Hit this with the TNT rather. Defuse here. Once the flame box subsides here, you want to do a big belly flop down. Just crawl and then trigger the nitro here, or the TNT rather. Once it's about to explode, you want to do a crouching double jump to avoid the explosion. Then do a sliding double jump up here. And then hit this TNT. You should have 56 crates at this point. 56. After the TNT. Go ahead and trigger this one, and this is optional. If you jump at the right time, you can get this one up.
Oh my god, I did it right. Okay. What? Wow! No. This game's just stupid.
Wait, how did my guitar get here?
I moved it.
Say, what the hell? You might have actually believed in you without the ghost thing. I was about to believe in you for a second.
No, why?
Yo, what's up, Skelly? I was taking a big old dump. But I'm done taking a big old dump now, so...
Great. He's back.
Great, I'm back now. Freak. I just realized how weird I am. I just came over here saying I just took a big old dump. That's nice to know. Sorry. I don't even know why I didn't think that. I just straight up said it. Ayo. Orange juice makes me fart. Oh my god, we got orange juice. I want some orange juice. I'm gonna get myself some. I'll be right back. Getting some orange juice. Oh yeah! Got me some orange juice. Lovely. Orange juice is 10 out of 10. So how's this section? Oh god. I almost died there. Hey, that's nice. Nice.
I wasn't supposed to hit that.
Okay, so orange juice compared to apple juice. I'm trying to think. Because I really like apple juice, but I feel like I can't drink that much apple juice. One, because apple juice makes me fart, but two, I just feel like I can't drink that much of it, but I really like it, but I just can't drink that much of it. Oh, frick, I don't know how you did that, but cool. Nice.
Before the nitro appears, completely optional. You don't have to do that. Okay, so once you're
You want me
ready,
to skip,
at the
or-
checkpoint,
No.
you want to do a sliding double jump, break as many of these boxes as possible.
No.
Jump and spin so you just land on
No,
this
you
box.
cock.
Break these two boxes. Go back over to the armored crate. Do a short body slam down.
He did it the other
Break
way.
it. That'll hit a switch to fill in these two boxes. You just want to run back over, slide on over.
Oh, he uses the
This switch,
D-pad.
This will activate 6 flame
Does
boxes.
he?
that
Yeah, he does.
Work in an alternating pattern. So once the first set is about to stop, you just want to quickly break them all. You don't
I
want
think
to
it's
hold the
better
jump
that
button,
way.
you want to hold forward.
D-pad?
Break these
Yeah.
3 boxes before hitting
It's really
this
preference.
Because that's
I
how
think.
most people play
and
this
then you want to
game.
jump and spin onto this nitro bouncer so you do not bounce on it. Get to the very edge, and once the flame box subsides, you want to jump all the way over here. Break the first 3 boxes, come up here, get these 2 1-ups, and then body slam or belly flop down here. back to safety. Okay, then you want to do a sliding double jump, break all these, because you're going to bounce on that nitro bounce.
I don't even remember what he did. Bounce
He
on
goes
this?
up. He goes up like when it's safe.
Sweet Bandicoot.
Just sipping on my tea, my orange tea. Is there any orange tea? There probably is.
Yes, we have some.
We do? I love my raspberry tea.
It's really old though, so I probably wouldn't drink it if I were you. But
Well, I was saying that because I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't taste good, but maybe. I don't know. I feel like I only like orange stuff cold, so maybe if it was a cold orange tea, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever eaten something with an orange flavor. Oh, never mind. I think the only thing I've ever eaten that fits that is orange chicken. I was about to say, I don't think I've ever had anything with an orange flavor hot. But I think orange chicken would be the only thing that I've had that actually is. And orange chicken's actually quite good. Nice.
fuck!
Wait, what? That was weird.
Sweet Bandicoot.
Stop.
Sweet Bandicoot.
Why in the mother of fuck do you fucking fuck? I have no idea what I just said.
Mm-hmm. You keep hitting it. It be like that sometimes, folks.
I just panic and just want to stop bouncing.
You made me think of Tigger just then. Except that he would say the opposite. What? That was my fault. You looked at me right before you went. Oh, man.
I just need you to get out.
Sorry. I know. I get out. I get out. I know where I'm not wanted. I'm trying to look up why OBS browser sources keep crashing my OBS.
Great! Fuck.
Dude, you sound like you're trying to push a dump out. And then I would encourage you not to push a dump out like that.
I'm trying to hold one back.
Sorry, I'm doing some research over here, so it's not like I'm not paying attention. I'm just researching, you know, doing that 5-head stuff.
Well, I need the video.
Cuck.
Bouncer one last time. Spin, jump, and spin. Break these 2 boxes before the TNTs go off. Okay. Come over here. And then you want to jump onto this nitro bounce before it fills in the other nitro.
Oh my god, really?
Get the 1-up, get the armored crate, and then head over to the end. Just trigger the final TNT, break these 3, everything explodes, and you have 118 body.
You're
God.
close to done. I mean, close to done. Wait, how did he do that jump?
I think he slid, which is what I tried to do and failed miserably.
Great. And then head over to the end.
Oh.
Did he slide?
Yeah. Hey, you're close, bro. You got this. After this, we definitely gotta stop, because you need to give yourself a break.
I mean, the next level that gets played would be you anyway, so...
Do you think if we continue until next Sunday, we can finish it then, or you think we're still gonna be doing it?
I'm just concerned about that gem path in that other level.
Oh, yeah, that. I might try that a bit off
And then
stream,
doing cortex
honestly.
forwards and backwards.
I might
That's
try
how
that
the
again off
cortex
stream.
level. But I think if we don't finish it next Sunday, we should just stop anyway and give up.
Yeah, then we can go to Rift Apart.
You.
Or I can go to Rift Apart, because you're not gonna want to play that with me.
I would, but there's no good way to do that.
We do fake co-op all the time.
I mean...
But I actually don't know if I'd want to do that. That was bullcrap. I don't know if I'd want to do that with that game.
It wasn't. That was just the wrong timing. That wasn't bullcrap for once. It was actually my fault. I mean, to be fair, doing this all in one shot is bullcrap anyway.
Can I
but
close this now?
Probably.
Well, actually, I was looking up stuff.
I swear I'll never lose depression. No, don't. I need to shower after this. By the way.
Next time, perhaps. Now, sweet Bandicoot.
I'm trying to be so focused, but like I just can't.
You can do it, bro. You can do it.
Experiment failed.
Ow!
Stop. So mean. They're gonna think you're actually getting hurt.
Hey, gaming. Oh, I mean, not gaming. Bad.
Why did I do that? I'm not supposed to do that.
Now, sweet Bandicoot.
Stop looking away.
Looking away is my coping mechanism. Stopping me.
Hmm?
You're looking away is my coping mechanism. Stopping me.
You're saying that way too fast.
It's my coping mechanism. Stop being mean.
Oh. I think you're thinking too hard. I think you're panicking. Panic me, daddy! Ah.
I think I've done this wrong in every possible way.
Stop being mean.
Motherfucking bitch!
What is stop being mean?
What I said.
Yeah, it must be an emote, the way you typed it.
Bandicoot.
Is it addable? Cause I can add it.
So can he if it's 7 TV. That's not stop being mean, that's more like stopped being mean.
Oh, people hugging another people. Stop being mean, meanie.
That was just unfair. I mean, we do have a hugging emote, it's just not Peepo.
Epis the hug. Oh, no worries, Mibble. Aw. A Zemi hug. That's cute.
I just can't get fucking around him. It's the same fucking problem I had with the other part of the other level.
That's just where your weakness is.
Huh?
This is your weakness. We all have weaknesses.
Yeah, all that's gonna make me do is piss me off even more. Because it's so fucking stupid. Because it's like, why? Why does this exist? What is the reason?
That emo is so freaking funny.
Accurate.
Interesting. Okay, what I'm looking up, I don't seem to be finding anything of use, but intriguing. I believe in the booty eye. You should believe in it too. I was literally worried about you doing just that. Because you were so far to the left. What are you practicing?
Mm-hmm.
What about those question mark ones?
You have to not be an idiot like me and be faster.
Stop saying you were an idiot, bro. That's not nice.
Alright, you need to play better than me and be faster than that. Better?
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Come on, bro. You're so close. I gotta try for a few seconds while you jerk whatever you're doing. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. It's not this, right?
Doing what you're doing makes it nearly impossible.
It does?
Yes.
Oh. Ah! What are you supposed to do again? I don't remember.
Slide, spin to hit as many of them as possible and break the rest when you jump off the TNT.
Oh.
And not get hit by that. You want to go right before the flames stop.
Right before the flames. Oops.
You're still fine. You don't have to do it all in one shot.
Oh.
You just have to make sure the TNT blows up and you break all the crates before moving forward.
You said right before the first flame starts? Like this?
No, but I said right before they stop. I mean, that works too.
What? Oh, no, I didn't get a double jump. No. Oops. I need to hit it, spin it before I cough.
Mm-hmm. That's an issue.
Wait, what?
You didn't wait.
Oh.
You need to wait for the TNT to explode first. I mean, you still broke the crate, so it doesn't really matter, but like...
My brain was confused. That's the real problem was. Oh, frick. How did that happen? What are you supposed to do here?
bounce up to the top.
Oh, like not do that.
It's hard, isn't it?
Mhm.
Alright, I'm ready again.
You ready again?
Yeah. It's just what happened to me was just not fair. Gee, thanks.
I was doing okay-ish.
Yeah, you were.
This is hard though. I think you panicked there.
I did, because if you don't do what I just did, you'll die to the other flame box.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Meange. You scare me the way you do that. 'Cause you don't slide jump.
You don't need to. That's not what happened when you did it.
That was weird. Yeah, like it looked like the cycle just did its own thing there. It didn't look like it was about to blow, like come up, and it just did out of nowhere. That was weird.
Now do you understand? Do you?
If you aren't gonna slide, you gotta be close as hell to the edge.
Well, yeah.
I understand. It just doesn't make me angry.
But do you understand why when it happens 16 times in a row, it makes me angry?
No. I don't know. Stuff like that just doesn't make me angry. It's like, I don't know. I just don't care that much. I would say they try to figure out like how far from the edge can you go. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do the top 3.
What do you have to do? Hit the jump one and go through it? Is that what you have to do? I don't know why you look away.
I told you 4 times why.
Is it your coping mechanism?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, whatever works, bro. As long as it's not sus.
Some people punch small children in the face. I didn't want to do that, so that's what I do instead.
You need help.
You're just stating the obvious.
You seem to be doing that fine now.
You had to say something, right? Because now I'm gonna fuck something else up.
Oh, sorry. Dang it. I can't say anything nice. Forgot.
I'm not saying anything nice.
What are you supposed to do here? Oh, that. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Scared of what?
I didn't know how you were gonna react.
Pain.
Maybe need to be a little bit. If you mess up once, can you even fix it?
Maybe.
I mean, this is definitely within your grasp.
I mean,
I think you just choked.
yeah. It's within the confines of my tingling ball stack.
Huh? I feel like you're messing up the easiest part, and you're doing the hard parts really well. I don't...
Oopsie, fuck you. What?
I eat waffles all day long, Nickel. I will literally eat breakfast food all day. I don't give a frick.
Yeah, one time she was eating French toast at like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, I will literally eat breakfast food at any point in time. I do not care, and I do not feel any shame. Like, if I go to a place that sells breakfast food, I literally guaranteed will be eating it at no matter what time it is.
Oh my god.
No matter what time it is. You know? I don't give no fricks. I'm always gonna be eating my breakfast.
Experiment failed.
I think you need to be closer.
Anus
You
failed.
think that's why that didn't work?
Anus wet. The coffee is usually ass, though. I mean, I hate coffee, so it's kind of hard to fuck up a soda unless the machine's not working right. Like, it never works right at McDonald's half the time. It's either way too much syrup or way too much water, and then the ice waters it down even more.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's what they do with my coffees. Like, literally, this coffee is all syrup at the bottom. So I have to mix it like this so I'm not just drinking straight syrup.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's good when I mix it up, but if you don't mix it up properly, ugh. Just drinking straight syrup.
Yeah, consistently bad. We don't go to Tim Hortons. I don't even know if there's one around here.
I think that's only Canadian, isn't it?
I mean, I've heard the name before in places other than Canada. But I think
What is a Tim Hortons?
They might not sell like I don't know if there's like Tim Hortons restaurants here, but I think Tim Hortons is like a grocery store only brand.
Oh.
Like, I think only grocery stores sell their products. I don't
Tim
think
Hortons down on the farm.
this
Sorry.
isn't Bob Evans, bro.
It made me think of that,
It's the same
alright?
thing, basically, probably.
It made me thinketh. Can you not do that?
Can you not have it in my face?
It's not anywhere near you. It's in your eye.
It's just like the most Well, there's Dunkin' Donuts and there's Starbucks.
Dunkin' Dickwads. Dunkin' Donuts is popular. Starbucks I don't think counts anymore. I mean, I feel like Starbucks hasn't been as popular lately. Is it just because I'm not in college anymore or what?
I think it's a millennial thing.
I feel like nobody talks about Starbucks anymore.
Because no one can afford it.
You had a strat that was going there for you.
Don't speak. Well, I mean, if you're not counting places that are in multiple countries, or at least everywhere. Dunkin' Donuts may be the closest comparison.
You messed up.
Mm-hmm. No! There's only 3.5 minutes left on that timer.
I mean, I literally think that you should just go through this until you can beat it, but if you really think you can't, I don't know. But, like, I feel like you're way too close to, like, give up, because then I feel like if you take a break, you have to start over again, kind of.
Yeah. I won't have the checkpoint either unless we don't touch the PlayStation.
Yeah, so
that
it's like,
entire time.
and, like, that's probably not gonna happen, because, you know, homegirl's gotta be playing some Kingdom Hearts.
That's not fucking fair!
What happened?
I can't get them now.
What happened? Like, what
The
did it...
game is a piece of shit. That's what happened. I fucking hate this game.
That doesn't help me at all, but alright.
It's just random, whether it's gonna break that or not. It's literally fucking random.
Yeah, but, like, I don't really think about Starbucks anymore. I used to get Starbucks all the time when I was in college because it was, like, the only place available.
Well, also like $13 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's way too expensive, man. And then on top of that...
That literally hurt to do. I thought I wasn't gonna make it.
They had a
Pull that,
pizza...
do you still have that video up?
No. Yeah? Yeah.
Get the armored crate. The
Back.
nitro.
Back.
Onto this nitro bound.
Back.
Come over here.
Back.
This is before the TNTs
Back.
go off last time.
Back.
Double jump, break all these because
This
you're
is
gonna
good, right?
bounce on that nitro bouncer one last time.
See, that's what I did, and it set the thing, it set the switch off early.
Okay.
So like,
Come over here.
Oh, yeah, but that only happened, like, once, didn't it?
And then you want to jump.
that's the third time it's
nitro
happened.
bounce before it fills
When you
with
asked if I messed up, I
nitro.
didn't mess up.
And then you want to
That fucked up.
Okay. Spin, jump, and spin. Break these two boxes before the TNTs go off. Time. Spin, jump,
I think
and
he's
spin.
closer to
Break
it.
these two boxes before the TNTs go off. Okay. Come over here.
That's further away,
You want to
not
jump
closer.
onto this knife. Over here.
That has nothing to do with that.
I don't think you're gonna make that jump properly if you're not close.
I need to be closer, but the problem was the switch, not the TNT.
Yeah, I know, but still. To make the other jump, you need to be closer.
Yeah, great.
It's not really my thing because you have to tell them, like, every ingredient you want. Yeah, I don't like it either.
It's like Subway.
I used to, like, just freaking memorize, like, I would find something I liked and just memorize it and say that every time. Literally what I did. Hey, ain't nobody got time for all this.
That's a dead one.
So fucking awful. Like, for real.
Looking forward to?
This
I
one
don't really
being
look
over.
forward to games. Like, I want to play Splatoon 3, But the only way I could play it is if I bought it and used my partner's Switch, and that's kind of sus as hell.
Plus, that's already out, so that doesn't count as looking forward to.
Yeah, but you can still look forward to something, to playing something.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to playing
that's
it.
not what that question means.
What do you mean, then? You're talking about new games coming out? I don't pay attention enough. I really don't. I don't pay attention enough
The frustration, pain, and agony and
to
misery.
really know what games are even coming out. Half of the time, I don't even know when a game comes out. If I'm being for real.
I can't do it. It literally just doesn't let me.
Yeah, I don't know. My ex was into Diablo, so that game's kind of like sus as hell to me. I'm just kidding. I don't even remember, like, isn't there like 5 million different Diablos at this point? I don't even know what Diablo we were doing anyway.
No one calls it that either.
What do they call it? Diablo? Diablo. My bad, I was probably butchering the name. But yeah, it was alright from what we did play, but it's not really my type of game. But I know a lot of people love it.
It's just another trash MMO.
Wow. I'm not saying all that.
I was joking.
Wait, I thought Destiny 2 was oh, it's an expansion. Got you.
Yeah, I forgot they're making a Breath of the Wild too.
Wait, they are?
Mm-hmm.
Holy frick, I completely skipped all these frickin' Nintendo Directs.
It was announced at the latest Nintendo Direct, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've just been skipping all of them now.
Please will this be the one. Oh my fuck.
You just keep choking when you get there. Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know if that's Cry Tears or Rip Tears. A weird name. I don't know.
I'm gonna cry tears of pain in a minute.
Yeah, I noticed that you tweet a lot about Destiny. What do you like about Destiny? I don't really know much about it. I used to watch
Tear
a
versus
streamer.
tear.
I used to watch a streamer. Oh, Tear or Tear. Okay, got you. I used to watch a streamer who would play a lot of Destiny. But I just didn't understand the game.
I'm about to have rip tears in the terms of R.I.P. Rest in peace. How was I missing that?
Love getting new loot, crafting, the story and the universe is so cool and engaging. Eh, that's fair. Have you ever played,
Oh,
what's the other game?
RuneScape?
No, the other game we all got into. I don't remember what it was.
Monster Hunter World? Craftopia?
No. Warframe. That.
Oh, yeah.
It makes me think of Warframe. I liked Warframe a lot, but it's just so grindy, so, like, I got out of it. But if you enjoy the grind of the game because you're that engaged,
Kinda like
that's what's
Pokemon,
worth it.
when you're trying to get, like, catch everything.
Yeah, you have to really fall in love
Like,
with the
it's a mega
grind.
grind, but if you like getting, like, trying to get everything and grinding the game for what it is, then...
Why is it difficult to get into? Is it because of the grindiness? I don't know. I don't know how Destiny and Warframe are different. I thought that they were kind of the same
I
thing.
think it's because of the frame rate.
What? Frame rate isn't bad. I feel like a lot of those games have that.
Also, I don't think Warframe has as much of a player base as it used to either.
They do, but everyone's high level, so it's not easy to find new people to play with. Like, I got lucky as hell. When I first started playing Warframe, like, there were these high-level people that were down to help me. That's always what gets me into an MMO. Someone who knows what they're doing, being down to help out and make it a more enjoyable experience. You know what I mean?
I can't do this. I need you to do it. I can't keep doing it.
You could do it, but you keep choking when you have it.
Yeah, that's my point. I can't do it. I really can't. Like, I'm legit shaking.
Well, at least now you know what speedrunning's like a little bit. Except that with speedrunning's even worse, because you have a timer.
No, this is worse.
Timer makes it 10 times worse, even though it shouldn't.
I had a timer.
Yeah, but you didn't have a goal.
I was speedrunning Pokemon.
How do you even speedrun that? That's so weird. Warframe is a PvE game, whereas Destiny has PvE, PvP, and PvE plus PvP mode called Gambit.
That sounds dumb.
Oh, frick, I completely forgot that Destiny is a freaking FPS. I literally forgot that, my bad. The thing is, I prefer PvE games. I think when it comes to MMOs, what I really think is fun is cooperative PvE. And that's basically what you do in Warframe if you find the right people to do it with. You basically just grind the same PvE levels and worlds until you get everything you need to build stronger Warframes. Wait, you can see I played 200 hours of Vanguard? Holy hell. See, no, when it comes to Call of Duty, like FPS like that, oh, I honestly don't know how many hours. It could be that much.
I think it's more than that, because I think I have over 400.
Really? Dang. I mean, I could have that much. I do play a lot of COD, I won't lie. But when it comes to Call of Duty, I prefer multiplayer. But, like, when it comes to MMOs, I prefer player versus enemy cooperative PvE type style. That's what keeps me playing for a long time. I don't really want to compete against somebody. I want us to just have fun together and just chill and beat enemies and, like, destroy, like, loot, get loot, you know, raid dungeons, you know, whatever the hell we do. I just want to be able to, I want to be able to do it with other people. But that is why I liked RuneScape. I'm not really a competitive person. I'm only competitive with... Oh, frick, sorry, Hangman. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good today.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Whip is trying to get to the point where he beats this level, and then we're gonna stop. Hopefully he can get to it. He's been choking it, but, you know, we'll see. He might be able to get it. He's definitely capable. It's not like a capability thing, which is why I was comparing it to speedrunning, because that's exactly what ends up happening with speedrunning, too, where... It's very obvious that you're capable, but you just keep choking, which is why a lot of people get into cheating in the first place, because they know that they could do it, but they just can't do it at the same time.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm down to any MMO game that gives you options as well. There was this game called, what was that game I was addicted to on the PS5 that I made myself stop playing because I didn't want to be addicted to it anymore? I don't remember what it's... Oh, Arcadeddin or something? Whatever that...
Arcadegeddon.
Arcadegeddon. That game's like that, too. The main game is PvE, which is what I loved. But the other parts of the game... you can do some PvP. I hated the PvP parts of that game. The PvE parts... The PvP parts of that game were not fun to me. I only enjoy the PvE. And I just decided to quit because, I don't know, it just wasn't, not enough interestingness going on for me, but... But yeah, in COD, I mean, there is no PvE unless you do zombies, and zombies isn't always in every COD, so. Yesterday was terrible, nightmare of a day. Oh, what happened?
Please, somebody fucking help me for the love of God.
Like, I don't know, like, I just played COD since I was young, so, like, I'm always gonna be competitive in COD, but it's not even like I'm competitive. It's more like I just want to see myself improve. That's literally the main thing that keeps me playing COD. If I was competitive, I would probably... I don't think that would be enough to keep me doing COD. So, like, that's probably the only exception about me, where it's like, I enjoy COD, but, like,
I guess technically...
What?
I guess you could... Technically...
Sweet Bandicoot.
Technic.
Technically, if you play with bots, that would still be PvE.
Yeah, that's not fun, though, to me.
I know, but...
I don't know, with COD, playing with bots, it just doesn't feel right.
I'm just saying,
I
that's
can't
another
do
way
it.
to do
I don't
it
know
as
why.
PvE.
Something with the way they do the bots in COD just feels so not human. So it just doesn't.
Well, because if you put
make
them on
sense.
anything less than veteran, they're terrible. If you put them on veteran, they're fucking OP as shit.
Yeah, like, you gotta be able to do the PvE right. If the PvE don't feel right, I can't enjoy myself. It's gonna feel too distracting, too, like, not real. And that's what it feels like when I do bots in COD. Like, I just don't enjoy bots in COD. So close again. Personally, I prefer Battlefield over COD because Battlefield is more of a team-based game. That's fair. Yeah, COD is very, like, you don't really have to play as a team, but I like playing team-based game modes so that you kind of have to play as a team to win. But you're likely to run into situations where you're playing with people who don't give a frick about the objective at all. So you just gotta accept that that's... Some people just play COD just to play COD, and they're doing objectives because they know that that's easy. Like, it's an easier for them to get kills that way. But, that's fair. I did get into Battlefield when I got into COD first, and then I started getting into Battlefield. So I don't mind it. You're a Battle Royale pleb? What Battle Royales do you play? I also like big maps and vehicles, and COD only play Domination or Hardpoint. Yeah, Domination is my favorite game mode, I would say. Domination, Demolition,
It's not Demolition, it's Domination.
It is Demolition. And Domination. They're both two different game modes.
Demolition is not even in this game.
Demolition is the one that's search and destroy, but you get more lives.
Oh.
Search and destroy pisses me off too much. So I do Demolition instead because I'm a baby. And
Super Animal Royale is not even a real Battle Royale game. It's just trash that real people don't play.
Oh yeah, Super Animal. That was kind of cute. Zed got me into that. It was kind of fun.
It's not.
I could play that with you if you want to play. I have never played a Battle Royale seriously. I have not gotten I have not gotten into this Battle Royale hype. You know? It is too a real Battle Royale. It's hard. It is a real Battle Royale. I mean, there's no definition of what a Battle Royale has to be aside from, like, the few basic concepts. And, like, as long as it's hitting those few basic concepts, it's a Battle Royale. It's fun, though. And it's hard because it gives you, like, you're looking at it through, like, a different perception, if that makes sense. So, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit weird. to look at or to play. It's like a completely different perspective on it all.
Embryo, fuck my ass.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I liked it. I actually told Zed, like, I'd be down to, like, play that game more than, like, Fortnite.
Until Fortnite got rid of the building.
Yeah, like, when Fortnite got rid of the building, I was like, I'd be more... I can play Fortnite now, but I'm just not really super into Battle Royales, period. That's the truth.
Why do you think we don't play Warzone?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I played Warzone a little bit, but I just get bored. I don't know. I don't know how people do it all day long. I seriously don't understand how they do that. Finally, go! Move! There you go. I don't want anything to break and then have you go, oh! Finally, we did it! Well, not everything, but that level. Alright, so let's just look at what we have left and then we're gonna stop for today. Because he needs a break. I just wanted him to beat that level.
What are the new skins though for that?
Oh yeah, we got new skin.
2. 1 for each of them.
The hell? Wait. Oh, they already put me on it, that's why. Alright. Yeah, the cool part about 100%ing this game is you get all these cool skins. So it's worth it. Oh, hydrate. I'm gonna drink some water. I have some water over here. Water me! Yeah, like the people who play those things all day long, I don't know how they play that ish like that. They cray. I don't know. But yeah, we finished this one. We still have a lot to do here. This one's the hardest one, I would say.
Yeah.
We only have to not die in the inverted one, which I'm pretty sure you could do, because you did that before anyway.
Yay.
And then seeing double, we have 2 more for the regular, and then we didn't even attempt the inverted.
That's all crates and 3 lives, and then inverted.
Yeah, and then this one you did that already, right? It's just the final boss. So, like, we're almost done, but, like, it's these 2 that we're really far behind on. So what I would probably try to do is, over the week, just practice these and see if I can get through some of them during the week. Maybe make some more progress. Yeah, he finally got it. That's why he needs a break for another 5 years. But yeah, so we're almost done. We have toxic tunnels. I'm not even gonna count this because I'm pretty sure you could do that easily. Mm-hmm. And then seeing double. That's literally all we have left at this point.
91%.
91%. So we're so close. We can do it. All the flashback tapes are done. Literally, we're just getting gems. So, because we're not gonna do 106%. No one cares about that. So, but yeah, we got this. We can do this. I think I'm gonna try to practice over the week.
The most I would ever get is 102%, and I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not worth it. It's really not.
102% would be getting all the gold. I think gold time trials. 104, I think, is all the platinum, and 106 is everything, including all of the insanely perfect relics.
Oh yeah, that is why I like that super animal one too, because it is a lot shorter. You're right. The matches don't take 5 years. I feel like Fortnite takes so long sometimes. Like, I don't want to be sitting there playing that long. And that's one thing I love about COD matches. They go by so fast. So, like, if I want to just take a break from work or something and, like, get, like, 2 COD matches in and then get back to work, I'm not going to feel that guilty doing that. But if I were to do that with Fortnite, that could take over an hour, potentially. Like, I'm not doing that. So, like, That's what I like COD a lot for. I can just go into it, do a few matches, and then go back to something else I need to do or whatever. I don't feel guilty taking a break to play it. It's like the matches go by so fast. But yeah, we're almost done, so we're gonna see if we can beat it next weekend, next Sunday. I know we keep dragging it on, but I really don't want to give up because we're so freaking close at this point. So I'm gonna try to practice that tunnel level over the week and see if practicing that will help me get better to the point where I can beat it and get more gems and make more progress on that, because like that's the level we're the weakest at, hands down. And yeah, and then there's the Cortex one. The Cortex is just annoying as hell, so make Whip do a 24-hour crash stream. I don't even think you'd survive. Like, he wouldn't survive.
I would need to be able to do whatever the hell I want during it, and I could do it.
That doesn't make any sense. Because you can't... What do you mean? You mean just any
fuck
level
around in
you
the
want?
Crash game, yeah, just play around.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. What do you mean? I thought you were saying, like... Any level you... I thought you were saying, like, just do whatever you want, but I'm like, it's a 24-hour crash stream. You can't just do whatever you want.
Whatever, like, want in Crash.
Well, yeah, that would probably be how you would be able to do it. You probably just, like, get a bunch of levels in the beginning and just do all the ones you enjoyed.
I'd be bored of shit, though.
But yeah, it would get boring after a while if you don't do something else. Something challenging. Alright, y'all. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go and raid Sodium.
There are no difficulties.
Sodium content. I mean, there is. There's retro.
That's not a difficulty, really, though.
It kind of is, but isn't at the same time.
It's like a fake difficulty.
Like, it makes it harder, but, like, no. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna raid Sodium content because they've been really nice and shouting my stream out on Twitter. It's really kind of them to do. Really appreciate that. But yeah, I appreciate you all hanging out, and hopefully you have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm gonna try out the Modern Warfare 2 beta after I get these videos after I get all these broken stream clips up to submitted. I'm going to definitely try that out or talk about it in the Discord or like Twitter or whatever, like what I think about it. But anyway, appreciate y'all, appreciate you. I'm just kidding.